All right, I'm back. We're back. And I think it's time to give a little tour of the humble abode here and all the work that I've done off camera. Okay, so I guess we'll start here at the back since we're looking here. Everything here is the same pretty much. I've added a few chests, changed out the design of these chests just because I thought these bamboo chests were cool for putting in the flowers and petals and plants and things. Here I got like underwater stuff and desert stuff, and all the way down at the bottom we got some shrooms, because you know you gotta have some shrooms. Oh yeah, and we have the thing here where we can turn on and off our armor. Yeah, that's cool. I wonder if you can do, can I like go to no hand, like have nothing in the hand? Can I do this? Oh, let's see. Oh, there we go. Nice. There we go. Nice clean interface. Look at this little guy I got right here. I picked this little guy up, this little meerkat, and he was just too cute. I was like, you must come back and live in my house with me. I haven't given him a name, and there's no name tags or anything in this game yet. All right, so here at the back, I was able to hang one of the banners here. I got some weird lighting glitches going on here. I had a bed here that I wasn't using, and I just picked that up, and I decided to start putting in some just more storage chests, materials. I don't know why. I collected every water bucket from that desert mine shaft. So over here used to be my bed. My little leafy bed was here, and over here was the Arcanus workbench, and I moved that and replaced it with a glowing flower. But you'll see where I put that stuff. Here we have just a chest now with charcoal and foodstuffs. Here's a chest I've got just where I put the stuff that you get from knocking trees down, except for the logs. So having this auto pull from chests feature is cool, but then it creates sort of a decision point where if I wanted to create, say, a special spot for the tanning rack and build like a decorative area, you know, for that, then in order to use, well, see, the tanning rack is a bad example because it doesn't use any resources from chests. So it doesn't really matter. But let's say I wanted to make a kitchen and set it in another building or something. Now then, if it's far away from my regular storage chest, that means I have to cart over materials and sort of double up if I need this, like say I need sticks to make these things, right? Require sticks. But sticks are also required for making other items. So then I would need a chest over in the kitchen area, so to speak, with sticks in it, and then I would have to have sticks over here as well. So it's an interesting little, you know, Hytale specific sort of a thing, or yeah, the alchemist workbench. Like, of course, I'd like to make a little alchemist building that has its own thing, which this actually might be cool. It uses certain items, but it might be worth setting up different chests for that. And anyway, so we go back here. I'll start having some storage chests here for general items. We go through the banner. We have our little portal room, which we've already seen. But I might redesign this room, and I might have two portals. Like I can have one portal set up, you know, to just stay pointed at one thing and just leave it like that. And then I could have a second portal, and I think that's where the quote-unquote maximum teleporters thing comes into play. I don't know how many teleporters you can actually have maximum, but you get like a +1 teleporter and a +2 maximum teleporters by doing things over at the Forgotten Temple where we turn in our memories. I might make this a multi-teleporter room and have one that goes maybe just to the volcano jungle, because I imagine I'll leave that one set up for quite a while to go back and forth and get resources there or whatever. It's just a cool place to go visit. And then I could have another one over here that is what I use this one for, which is always a random one where I can just dial in which one I want to go to, and then anyway, so we'll see. All right, it's nighttime, so we'll go see where I put the beds at. This is a little bit of a pain, and I have an idea, a little bit of a fun idea I want to play with to do this. So I made a little water elevator because I didn't feel like building stairs to get up here. This is the first level up on top of here above our little starter spawn cave ruins, or wherever temple the original spawn temple that I never left. I started living inside of, which I realize is maybe kind of silly, but I did want to put something on top of the cave as far as exterior detail goes, so it doesn't look like I'm just living in a cave. And so we'll take a look at that in a second. So yeah, so I decided to move the Arcanist workbench up here, and I'm starting to decorate in a little bit of arcane feeling stuff. Maybe I'll get some library books in here and different things. And of course we have our cool owl statue here, and I put a little green fire to backlight it. It's cool. I like it. But we should sleep so we can get a little bit more light in here. I decided to build this up out of just sort of gray, generic gray stone and give it a little worn appearance. And this is using some of the more beigey stone. Got myself a little ancient bucket right there as a decoration. I don't know why. Anyway, and this is, again, an undecorated area. This is sort of the bedroom living space that I put together here. It's got a very, very tall ceiling, which I think we might talk about here in a bit, about expanding into an upper floor if I wanted a fourth floor, but I actually might do some detail on the outside, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. I did use these windows that I found that you can't craft, these windows. I just like them. I think they look really cool, and they look great from the outside, and they're sort of a bluish, cooler tint. There are some very nice mullioned windows that I was originally going to put in. They're very warm tinted. They make it look like there's sort of candlelight coming from the inside. But I like these blue ones, and they are ruined, so they randomly show up. The texture randomly has broken windows. They're all the same window block item, but when you place them down, they randomly pick up a ruined look. I threw in some of these random deadwood. I think these are made out of deadwood windows. They just looked good, like it's kind of ruins and stuff, which that's kind of the vibe I'm going to go for in here. These bamboo lamps and lanterns I found finally. They dropped the recipe in the second update where they were added to the furniture table, but I also collected a whole bunch from the volcano jungle area, which is where the bamboo and stuff is. And there's a nice bamboo planter and a little bit of jungle leafy stuff, which is great. Oh no, this isn't a planter. This is actually trapdoors on a piece of grass, because the planters don't actually accept every type of plant. It's a little randomized at this point. But here's a thing that I'm not super happy with about the trapdoors. So trapdoors, unlike in Minecraft, trapdoors only go inset at the top of a block. So I can't put this trapdoor on top of this block flush. It's a limiting factor in some things you want to do building wise or decoration wise. So anyway, they work here by putting them here and closing them, and there we go. We have a little decorative planter block, and I threw in some ivy and stuff, and I put my bedroom out here in the open. Now I was going to build this out. Here's a little close-up view, teaser view of what I built up here, this sort of house look. The roof's a bit much, but you know, I'm just learning the building styles in this game, and this is the first time I built a roof like this in this game, and maybe I didn't need to extend it out this extra block. I probably should adjust this and take this in one block, but you'll see from the outside. But I was going to build this up and have a roof come out and have another like smaller angled roof extend out over this sort of this extension space here, but I liked the view here so much. I was like, this is a really cool way to come out and just be able to survey the area as I build it up. But if I pulled up, you know, if I put up little walls or anything else, it starts to obscure the view. Even this layer right here, I wasn't going to have, because if you, let's say we take out one of these blocks or a couple here, you know, we get it, these start to restrict the view even more. So I'd almost like not want to have these here at all, but I went ahead and put them on there. But yeah, that's the gardens. That's my farming zone, and you can see it's doing stuff. And I built this little I don't know what you call this, like a lean-to type of thing. Like it's a garden shed. It has our farming workbench under there and some other things, and we'll go check that out. And these berry bushes I had to buy so I could plant them where I wanted, because you can't shear up berry bushes from around the world. You have to buy them if you want to be able to plant them where you want. Then we've got some fishing traps out there. We'll look at those and we'll see what we get out of those. And this is just my walkway that comes out of the front door of the first floor, takes off to a couple of directions. And right over here is where I want to build sort of the minecart station that I want to, just to test out the minecarts, I want to build it out to take us over to our forgotten temple portal thing. Wow. Why did it get dark all of a sudden? We can sleep away the rest of this nighttime, get ourselves some dawn. This is one of those beds that I can't craft. I actually auditioned a few beds up here and ended up going with this one. Any bed would have worked out here, but yeah, it's just I sleep in the open air. So I can technically be attacked by bad guys that come out at night. Which hasn't really happened, but it could happen. I did get attacked in the farm. I was standing out there and I got attacked by one of the, I forget what they're called, but they're the floating, flying, squid-like Cthulhu-esque monster thingies, which are really cool. So there we go. Oh yeah, now you can see out the windows a little bit. So you can see the ruined windows. And these ruined windows that have the little panes broken out of them. You can see through them. On the second floor, this is a big temple doors I stole from one of the dark temples that are out there. Just made a little pathway and some stairs. Just experimenting with some of the different grass blocks and stuff that you can get. It's a little bit clunky. Some of the mix and match, like it looks very, they don't blend super well. I do like the way that the grass blocks can overlap each other. It's pretty cool. So yeah, you can do some cool things. Maybe this is like a nettled soil block, which I think is cool, but maybe I overdid it right here because it kind of looks very splotchy in the way that it's in. So I have to experiment more with trying to build and stuff. Let's close the doors, although that's a cool look of seeing the lighting inside. And then we can get a little bit of a further gander of the house here. The roof is a bit much. I mean, even when I did my first version, I had it, the roof came down even lower and extended out further, and it just looked like it was like a mushroom house. I was like, that roof is too big. And I think the roof is probably too big now, which is why I was talking about sort of sucking it in one block closer to the house. And there's a lot of white, but it's because that's the marble roof, and the marble roof has a black outline, or has a black roof tile, and then I put blue roofs on the inside. I wanted the blue roofs and I wasn't sure about what to outline them with, so I can change all this. I just, it's the first time. It's my first build, and I just wanted to see what the blocks looked like and how they worked and stuff. So I do need to put some maybe more detail on this, like some planter boxes and things like that. My idea was that, this is supposed to be a ruined temple that was underground here, and then I was thinking like, yeah, maybe, somebody built up a little ruined castle-y thing, and then someone later on even added a little bit more modern of a house type thing or whatever. So that was just sort of my rough general inspiration for, it's my hindsight inspiration for just why is there a house here with this roof. And then we can see what this looks like through the front. We'll just zoom right up here, cruise in here. We get to see I love that owl statue. It's very cool. Very cool owl statue. All right, so now we just cruise out here, and I love how this looks. This is pretty cool. Here we are on this side where you see much more of this sort of castle-y sort of thing at the front. That block in the middle is too dark. I should swap that out with something else. Again, the snowy white underside of this roof is probably not the right way to go. But again, I was just messing around. This section right in here, I haven't really doped out. And this chicken always gets out. It's just like a regular pet, man. What are you doing? He always gets out. These two stay in. That one always leaves. He's a rambunctious one, that one. I don't even know what that means. What do the hearts mean? I've never seen that before. Every so often they will leave you some eggs in the chicken coop. I used the little capture crates here to grab a couple lambs. But these guys have been here for a long, long time, and they never grew up. They haven't grown up. Same with the couple of cows I have here. These little derpy cow guys with their tongues sticking out. And another thing that didn't grow is I spent a little bit of life essence to buy a palm tree sapling, because you have to buy saplings basically. That's how the system works to grow trees. And this is all it did. It grew and it stopped. I thought I could plant a palm tree and then it would grow a full-size block, wood block palm tree. Then that's how you would be able to sustainably farm the palm wood blocks. But so far I've only found full-size palm wood blocks in chests in the desert. And even in the desert, they don't have, all the palm trees are this thinner branch block. So I don't know how you, like right now, it currently seems impossible to grow or farm those wood blocks. Have a little seating area here. Interestingly enough, you can actually sit at, which is something people have always wanted from Minecraft, right? Just to be able to actually sit in the chairs and things. And then here's my little gardening area, which I actually am liking this area quite a bit. This is a big top of one of the big jungle trees, from the volcano jungle area. And then here this is my fishing chest or whatever. So I come out here every so often, harvest all the traps, see what kind of treasures we get. And we actually got a couple of cool things doing this. I picked up, I found I found an epic fish and a legendary fish. This actually gave me a memory to record, which is cool. I've also caught some trash and a large trash pile. I've caught duckweed, which is, and water lilies. Duckweed is that's that block right here. You can't walk on it because it breaks. And even the lily pads break, I think, if you step on them. And yes, I have underwater torches because torches in Hytale currently burn underwater, but they allow you to light underwater, which is kind of cool. Okay, and then our next little peel off here is the berry bushes I was talking about, which I know these are everywhere out in the world, but berries are necessary for, not only for some of the food recipes, but they're necessary for making the fish trap bait. And I put these guys in planters. I didn't have to. These bushes would have been able to be planted straight on the ground, but just for decorative purposes, I put a bunch of planters in the ground. I don't really know why. I was just playing around, but I think it looks kind of cool. And that's a light source as well. I really like these little glowing plants as light sources. They're great. And I do like the wood, Pat. The wood is very interesting as far as the amount of detail you can get out of the wood. So these are I think a block called a platform, 2 different types of wood platforms. And then I'm using slabs, and that's a full block that has 4 or 5 different visual states it can be in. And then you can orient these, just more of this, more variation to make this look like a worn walking platform. I think it's very fun to do that. Of course, I've got jack-o'-lanterns everywhere because they're just cool. And yeah, anyway, here I put gates in here, but gates are probably unnecessary. Because that happens. I opened it and went over that block and it literally overwrote those plants. It didn't drop the plants. It didn't do anything. It just destroyed them. So I try to not accidentally open them inward. I did want the gates here, but in order to open them outwards, you have to do that from the inside. So it's either that or, you make these 2 blocks, pathway blocks or something where you just don't plant there. But for now, I've just got all my gates open because I built this whole place before I started planting crops in here. Cotton is now one of the renewable resource to make basically your dyes, your colored dyes for coloring certain blocks and stuff. I don't really use corn for anything, but it's a nice source, a simple source of generating life essence because you get a bunch when you harvest it. And then I extended the walkway just the other day here because I finally got all of these seeds, which these are special seeds. So you need a bunch of petals to upgrade the farmer's workbench. So to upgrade to tier 9, and I think there's even a tier 10, I need blood petals and storm petals and azure petals, and those all come from these plants, which you find out in the world, but they're pretty rare. These are not very rare. These are ridiculously rare. But when you mine them or harvest them out in the world, just when you see them laying around, there's a very slim chance that you'll get a recipe item, which allows you then to now buy them from the farmer's workbench. And then right here, I have an area for just sunflowers, because sunflowers and cotton together give you sort of the raw material for making the dyes. I think that's it. That's the tour. It's kind of silly looking because it's just like this one level of house on top of a castle. It's a castle house. Crymo's castle house. I guess next episode we'll build this minecart platform and test out the minecarts. There's Crymo and Crymo's castle house. I'll see ya when I see ya.